For a moment there, after Brad's mayoral win in the fall of 2024, things in Richmound seemed to be getting back to normal.
Hey!
That didn't last long. By the summer, I got word that Richmound Town Council had to close its office due to harassment towards staff by some people in town. And by people, I'm hearing that it's actually one person, Melinda. I can't confirm this, but given that she shared a video with me of her refusing to leave the administrative office last year...
This is a public building, and I'm gonna fucking sit here. Melinda, I'm not turning mine off either. Tit for tat.
It seems plausible. Either way, the mood in town continued to sour. But for Romana and the cult, it's been business as usual.
You hearing the truth, the whole truth, and funds can be transferred to the email address of...
They're still in the school, with no sign of leaving. But then, as the hot summer dragged on, the toxicity in Richmound turned from metaphorical to literal. A stink wafted over the town. The cult's plumbing had finally overflowed. If you recall, right before the election, Brad had plugged the school's sewer.
Well, we did something yesterday, but I don't know if I should tell you.
He claimed that Ricky Manns, the property owner, hadn't been paying the water and utility bills for the school.
What is it?
We put a plug in their sewer.
And now, months later, Mayor Brad noticed water was bubbling up from a manhole near the school. It seems the cult had continued flushing their waste into the sewer even after it was plugged up. And now it was spilling over.
They've been doing their trailers and dumping and whatever, taking the crap or whatever they've been doing. And it finally backed up.
Like you said to me in October, I think you said like, oh, it's full of shit.
Now they're really full of shit.
Brad's kidding, but there's a real concern here.
So like there's just this buildup. So there was a fear that this buildup then would get into the Richmound water supply.
And we were scared that we were thinking of contamination.
If the cult's sewage was in fact leaking into the water supply, that could be, according to Brad, a major bylaw infraction. And I know, we've seen so many bylaw infractions come to nothing. But this time, Brad was actually able to get the province's support. So someone from Saskatchewan's water agency showed up to inspect the situation. Brad also called in the RCMP to stand by, just in case things went south. As they approached the fence, they were stopped by Ricky Manns, the school building's owner. They asked for entry. Then, Brad says that Ricky, a former karate teacher as you might remember, lunged right for him, seemingly putting his past karate experience into practice.
He started grabbing my hand and throwing it off the fence and screaming whatever, and then he grabbed my hand again and pushed it. And then the two police officers told me to step back.
Video of the altercation shows RCMP officers tackling Ricky to the ground, cuffing him, and putting him in the back seat of their SUV. In the end, Ricky was charged with assaulting two police officers, resisting arrest, and uttering threats. And Brad was even more sure that the cult was compromising the town's water supply, adding another bylaw infraction to his growing list. For a while there, I thought the arrest of Ricky Manns and the sewer debacle would be how this story ended, a town divided with no real end in sight, and Romana and the Kingdom of Canada staying put in Richmound. But, as we know by now, the weather in the prairies can change in an instant.
There's the corporation RCMP screaming outside saying you're under arrest.
Leave the phone down. You're under arrest.
I'm Rachel Brown, and from CBC's Uncover, this is The Cult Queen of Canada. Episode 6, The Royal Raid. Around late summer of 2025, a couple months after Ricky's arrest, Mayor Brad's wife, Arlene, got a phone call about something far more disturbing in the school than overflowing toilets.
Some lady phoned Arlene and said somebody saw a gun, and then Arlene said, well, phone 911, not us, whatever.
How did she feel? How did you feel when you heard that?
Oh, bad.
Yeah. Was it frightening?
Oh, yeah, because you're everybody's safety, right, sort of thing, so.
Brad won't say who the woman was who reported the gun, but he and Arlene believed her to be a trustworthy source. This was the most compelling evidence against the cult they'd had in a while.
We just kept in touch, and they figured they were going to get a warrant.
They were wary of getting their hopes up again, because by this point, they knew not to count on law enforcement to take action right away. But on Wednesday, September 3rd, at around 4 a.m, they were awoken by the sound of sirens.
We flew out of bed, and we walked down the back alley because we're right against the school. And then there was somebody in the trees, and they said, oh, you guys go back to your house.
Oh, there was an RCMP officer in the trees?
Yeah, which is good, right? I knew they'd be posted in there.
Brad and Arlene stood in their backyard and watched as RCMP officers surrounded the school. Their neighbor, Hugh Everding, was awoken by the commotion too.
I heard sirens around 10 to 5, and that woke me up, and I got up, and then there's more sirens, then there's more lights.
Like Brad and Arlene, he saw the whole thing from his front yard.
There are 2 cops parked in front of my house, another one at the intersection. There were cops everywhere. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 5 vehicles came out of nowhere and shot right up to the school.
Dozens of cops plowed into the school grounds, bursting through the construction fencing, speaking to the cult through loudspeakers.
I heard over the broadcast or over the loudspeakers, it sounded like they were asking for a specific person. So I thought maybe they were harboring a fugitive.
Brad and Arlene, for their part, could barely believe what they were seeing.
The SWAT truck went through the fence, and then they played their recording. We have a warrant for your arrest. Put your hands on your head, blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, inside the school, Romana Didulo and her followers are startled awake by the sirens and chaos outside. Romana grabs her phone and starts live streaming what's happening around her. Her right-hand woman, Darlene, speaks.
It sounds like there is movement in the hallway, so we will keep you posted, everyone.
But then Romana realizes she has to charge the phone.
So discharging the phone here. Discharging the phone. So everyone, that is what's happening.
As the RCMP get closer, Romana urges her followers to comply.
I have given instruction to everyone not to resist, as we are the peaceful people. We're not violent people.
She also claims the RCMP has slashed the tires of her vehicles. The RCMP told me it wouldn't comment on this allegation.
Some of the team members witnessed the tires being punctured, so I don't think that's part of the arrest.
Even in the chaos, Romana is focused on the safety of her 2 dogs.
And the royal puppies are in the building, and they will need someone to take care of them.
She clearly knows what's about to happen next.
Leave the phone down. You're under arrest.
All right.
Leave the phone down.
Okay.
One at a time. One at a time. Nothing.
So there you go.
Down on the ground, please.
Okay.
Please. Okay?
Okay.
Romana complies while continuing to live stream.
Okay. I'm not resisting. There's no one there. Yeah, I'll give you my hand.
The RCMP went in and grabbed one at a time and brought them out.
Neighbor Hugh Everding.
Cuffed them and carted them off.
So is everyone who was in the school arrested as far as you've heard?
they've all been taken somewhere.
The Queen of Canada and all of her subjects are escorted out of the school. The live stream ends. For Mayor Brad, watching from his yard, this was the moment he'd been after for years. If you listen to his phone recording of the arrest, you can hear his relief.
Finally.
Good afternoon. This morning at approximately 4:30 a.m., Saskatchewan RCMP executed a search warrant in Richmound, Saskatchewan.
Later that day, the RCMP host a press conference to announce their findings. This is Inspector St. Germain.
The search warrant was obtained after we received a report of an individual occupying the building was in possession of a firearm. Officers arrested 17 individuals. 10 were arrested inside the building, 6 were arrested in the RVs, and 1 was arrested outside a residence in Richmound.
While listening to this press conference, I was eager to hear if they'd seized any guns, like the ones the town had been warned about.
As of the last update from investigators, which was received at 11:30 this morning, we have located and seized 4 replica handguns, 1 inside the building and 3 inside vehicles.
Replica handguns? What does that mean? The RCMP wouldn't even say whether these guns were capable of firing bullets. This felt pretty flimsy. By the end of the press conference, one big question still remained. Where was Romana?
Are you able to confirm that Romana Didulo was one of those who was arrested?
So what I can say is that one of the individuals that was inside the building identified herself as Romana Didulo, which was, as I understand, live streamed as it happened. So she presented herself and identified herself as that and released it to the public. So I can confirm that she is in custody. But beyond that, I can't identify anybody else.
Now, the clock is ticking. Romana is in custody, under arrest, but the RCMP have 24 hours to formally charge her with a crime, or they have to let her go free.
And we'll see how justice is in Saskatchewan, right? And in Canada, whatever.
September 4th, 35 hours after the raid and arrests, the RCMP puts out a statement. They say they found even more replica firearms during their search of the school than initially reported. Quote, 13 imitation semi-automatic handguns, ammunition, as well as a large number of electronic devices, end quote. But the RCMP goes on to say they're releasing all members of the cult, including Romana, without charging them. It's another devastating blow to the anti-cult side of Richmound. It feels like they're caught in a bitter cycle. Every time they get a glimmer of hope, it gets dashed.
After being initially excited yesterday morning, then as the day dragged on, it was like, this is probably going to lead to nothing. And we're just going to be back to the same old bullshit situation.
Shauna Sane gives me a call. She sounds more defeated than ever.
And oh God, I just want it to be over, Rachel. I'm so sick of it.
But little did Shauna know, it was about to be over. This time was different. Later that day, both Romana and Ricky Mans were rearrested and charged. On the day of the raid, Romana was arrested with conditions, including that she not contact any member of the cult. And this includes her host, Ricky Mans. But it appears that Romana did exactly that after she was released. And contacting Ricky is what seems to have ultimately got her arrested with a charge that would stick. It wasn't for water contamination. It wasn't for something violent. It wasn't the mistreatment of her followers. It wasn't a gun, or even a replica gun. It seems to have come down to communicating with the subjects in her kingdom. In their statement, the RCMP added that Romana has also been charged with intimidation of a justice system participant. Ricky, for his part, gets slapped with 3 similar charges. Some people in town are thrilled about the news.
How do you feel?
Elated. Well, I mean, this is the best day of my life right now. Like, literally. It's so great that we have finally gotten some movement.
All of Romana's other followers who were arrested, though, are released. But they can't return to the school ever again. Because while all this has been happening, Saskatchewan health officials have pounced. A representative of the Saskatchewan Health Authority walks up to the school property.
Who am I here to speak with?
Cult members film from inside the fence, and Romana's press secretary, Darlene, approaches her.
I'm the senior public health inspector. Okay, may I have documentation that you are who you say you are?
The official tapes a sign onto the fence. These premises are declared unsanitary and unfit for occupation.
You've now been officially notified.
The school has been condemned. The kingdom has lost their castle. But where are the followers going to go now? As we know, most of them are seniors, and some have health issues. These are vulnerable people. And for the past 2 years, they've been camping out in an abandoned commercial building with Romana. We know so little about what their lives have been like inside the school. We get glimpses on the live stream. We've seen proof that they have used propane for heat, and some tell me the followers are overworked and underfed. One person I talked to wasn't sure if their loved one was getting their medications or not. But there's one moment from a live stream a while ago that has really stuck with me. An older woman can be seen in the footage standing at a podium reading out one of Romana's decrees.
I, Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo, have rescheduled the oath-taking ceremony for...
She starts to sound flustered, breathless.
The humanitarian deputization of Canadian nationals, January 19, 4 p.m., Canada.
Her speech slurs. She wavers at the podium.
This brings a close to Canadian Iron Canadian Chief Brian.
Then she faints backwards. The video abruptly cuts out. I think of this woman's family. If they had seen this video, how horrifying this moment would be to watch. Then to hear nothing. No news. And now, those families are watching as their loved ones are placed under arrest, then released with nowhere to go. A few days later, Romana appeared at court in Swift Current. It's a hearing to determine whether or not she will make bail and be let out of custody while her charges make their way through the courts. Outside the courthouse, police escort Romana out the back of an RCMP van. It's the first time she's been seen in public since the early days of taking over the Richmound school. She's sporting a deep purple 3-piece suit and a fresh buzz cut. Her hands are in metal handcuffs, and she's carrying a pad of paper. Romana smiles as she addresses a large group of her supporters and news crews that have gathered around her. I have to say, for someone who spent the night in jail, Romana looks more energized than ever. There's this comic book villain quality to her performance. She seems to be basking in all of the attention. More than a dozen followers in white hats watch as Romana is taken up the stairs.
We're going to the bail hearing today. And if granted, I go home. And if not, I will be taken to Regina and then to Prince Albert facility up north.
Even though she's in police custody, she's more sure than ever of her sovereign authority.
And under natural law, you know very well, they have no jurisdiction. Zero.
Inside, everything that was said is covered by a publication ban. But we do get one piece of news confirmed. Romana has opted not to hire a lawyer. Instead, she'll represent herself. Reporters who were there noted that the judge seemed visibly annoyed by the whole spectacle. After being granted bail on a number of strict conditions, Romana beams as she walks back outside the courthouse. Her followers, in sunglasses, walk her through a crush of news cameras.
Do you have anything to say?
Step back.
Step back.
Pending trial, the court has prohibited Romana from going within 50 kilometers of Richmound, and she must stay at a residence in Regina. She also can't have any contact with Ricky Mans or her followers. Even still, she continues to order them around as she's carted off.
Team, secure the royal puppies and the funds, you know who to get a hold of. All right, and I'll be seeking a jury duty. A jury trial.
I mean, this is kind of like a whole new chapter in this whole saga.
Yep.
2 years after Romana and the Kingdom of Canada first rolled into Richmound, Romana has finally been banished, never to return. The school sits empty and condemned. The park beside it still reeks of sewage, and Brad says Richmound has been working to get provincial support to fund the cleanup. They've been left with the cult's mess. But when I call him after the cult's departure, his mood is light. Brad tells me that he hopes to turn September 3rd, the day Romana got arrested, into a local holiday to commemorate the occasion.
I said I'd make a new policy that everyone that lives in Richmond and area, we have a stat holiday for them people, and they have to get paid by the companies, and they probably would pay them. Just to have the day off.
You want to do so? If all goes well, this will be a holiday in Richmond, September 3rd.
Yeah, you betcha.
What do we call it? If it ends up being a holiday, what do we call it?
Time to get pissed.
Brad feels like he's getting his home back, the community he loves.
That's the feeling. That brick has been taken off our chest, each and every one of us, and our kids are free to play, and they'll be at the park, and everybody's face will have a big smile on.
I still see a big hurdle to get over.
Shauna Sane says that even though the cult is gone, Richmound is still broken.
Which is some of the people that are newer to the community, that came here within the last 5 years, who have interfered and intervened with people trying to put a stop to the cult being here. Like, how can you show your faith in this community? What am I supposed to say to those people? And so as much as I feel like celebrating and saying, let's get the town together, let's have a potluck party celebration or something, do I really want those people to come? No. I probably would just be very happy if they left.
I have the honor and privilege to announce Her Royal Majesty...
More than 400 kilometers away, Romana is in the city of Regina, where she's living as part of her bail conditions. It's a sunny Monday morning, and she's broadcasting from a sparsely decorated living room. She has hung her kingdom's flag in the window and set up a camera to live stream to her followers.
And it seems we have a very special treat, so I'm going to mute the rest of us.
Romana backs up from the camera and starts to dance. Her internet connection is unstable, so the music doesn't come through consistently. But I can tell she's dancing to her personal cover of Rasputin by Boney M. 2 other women join in, dancing with her, and her royal puppies, Comet and Princess, bounce around her, barking. The Richmound school is condemned and sits empty. Romana's followers are now scattered with no home base. Her online following is dwindling, far from the peak of 78,000. They're now down to a couple thousand in the Telegram channel. But still, her remaining followers continue to tune in and donate. In the final days of reporting for this series, I get a message on Telegram. someone calling themselves Queen Romana asks if I'm interested in getting access to a med bed. I am confident this isn't really Romana, but it makes me think. In the kingdom she's built, where the truth is subjective and misinformation is the norm, she has primed her followers to be taken advantage of. And there are countless other scammers behind her, waiting to take the throne.
Thank you to Her Royal Majesty, Queen Romana Didulo I, for that very special treat and dancing to Rasputin.
But in spite of everything, on this bright Monday in Regina, Romana gets to keep on dancing. You've been listening to The Cult Queen of Canada from CBC's Uncover. The Cult Queen of Canada is a production of New Metric Media and Muse Entertainment for CBC Podcasts. The show is hosted by me, Rachel Brown. It's written and produced by Pippa Johnstone and Rachel Brown. The series producer is Chris Kelly. Sound design and original music by Mark Angley. Our senior producer is Jeff Turner. Our digital producer is Emily Cannell. The series was developed by Chris Kelly, Courtney Dobbins, and Rachel Brown. For New Metric Media, the executive producer is Mark Montefiore. The vice presidents of podcasts are Chris Kelly and Pat Kelly. For Muse Entertainment, executive producers are Courtney Dobbins and Jonas Prupis. Our podcast art was designed by Good Tape Studio. Our cross-promo producer is Amanda Cox. Our video producers are Evan Agard, Tamina Aziz, and John Lee. Special thanks to The Walrus Magazine, Lauren Berkovich, Miran Gade, and Nathan Howe. Additional voices by Amitai Marmerstein, Elena Guthrie, Joel Garner, and Courtney Shields. Additional recording by Dominique Ferritin. Fact-checking by Alexis Green. Legal review by Melissa Raymond. Transcriptions by Natalia Ferguson. Executive producers are Cecil Fernandez and Chris Oak. Tanya Springer is the senior manager. Arif Noorani is the director. And Leslie Merklinger is the executive director of CBC Podcasts. If you're enjoying the show, consider checking out another series from CBC. One I really like is called Allison After NXIVM. This series tells the story of Allison Mack, the former Smallville actress who became a high-ranking member of the NXIVM cult and a convicted felon. We follow Allison's release from prison and her efforts to rebuild her life. You can find it, along with all other CBC podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.